We talked about the consistency, so that's good for him. So he does have a pretty nice curve with the coin. He's got a coin 2 into 2. Meanwhile, Ellen Page decided to throw back the Doom Hammer. You want to draw that exactly when you need it, not a moment too soon, so you're able to flood the board with the earlier minion presence and just get ahead and put on a lot of pressure with low drop minions early on in the game. So Deeper is going to take that path with the coin mini bot. Had the option of mini bot or Haunted Creeper. Either of them would have killed the Leper Gnome. But went with the mini bot because it's a little bit more pressure, a little bit more attack. But now, since Ellen Page was able to back it up with the Totem Golem, that's a really strong backup for him. It buffs. It does prevent him from playing a card due to the overload this turn, but probably not something he was looking to do anyway, so I doubt the overload affected him very much. He's going to take the Warlock hero power, which can be really strong for the Shaman and prevent them from fizzling out, which they can do with all the low drop minions and spells. Helps them to keep the pressure on a little bit more consistently. So the Lightning Bolt, he realizes that it is not avenged. He knows it is not Noble Sacrifice either. So he lets the Competitive Spirit go off on just the 1/1, so limiting the value of the Competitive Spirit while putting a lot of pressure on the board. True Silver, not a terrible answer here. It clears off the Totem Golem and heals for 2, so you essentially only take 1 damage this turn from the Totem Golem to clear it off. Not terrible. And the Spider can clear off the Finleys. So not the worst board state. Ellen Page does still have the Argent Horse Rider with the Divine Shield, so that can be really annoying if Deeper has to use another True Silver charge just to clear that minion off. Looks like he's going to use it on the Leper Gnome instead and just take 2 damage from the Death Rattle here. The heal and the attack obviously trade evenly. So Repentance coming down. Probably not going to see a whole lot of value, but he played it, A, because he didn't have much else to do, and B, it forces Ellen Page to play around it a little bit. So now he's got to try to navigate that secret. He knows it's not Noble Sacrifice, again. So we'll get a tiny amount of value on this minion, but that doesn't affect the trades, really, whatsoever. The Spider will undoubtedly kill it just the same. Loatheb coming out just in time to lock down the spells when it appears that your opponent is going to try to kill you, and in fact he is still able to play that Rock Biter, which is going to be enough. But he decides not to take that path, so he's realizing it now. Just a small sequencing error. There, it appeared he could have won the game there by using the Rock Biter on the Argent Horse Rider. But probably not going to cost him. It looks like he's still got this game well in hand. So not a huge deal. Debra, not he is going to be able to clear the board, but not able to stop the Rock Biter from being lethal regardless. So now it's going to come out. The potential BM tap into the Lava Shock just to kind of put your opponent on edge a little bit, think that you top decked the lethal. We know he didn't because he had it the whole time, but it always feels bad when you're looking at it. You feel like you survived the lethal when they tap, and then they tap into it, and that could get you a little bit upset. So perhaps he did that just for the mind games there, just a little bit. But regardless, that will give him the win with Shaman and allow him to tie up the series at 2 games apiece. So he is left with the Druid